I thought that the whole purpose of this exercise was assuming that they don't.
It is. Okay, so assuming you need to use it as a prior inconsistent statement.
Yes, and in response to Mr. Sharp, Mr. Zachary is talking about his own intent and his understanding of what the conspiracy was. Arguably, this is a conspiratorial act of going out to shoot. We were going to kill one of the boys. So he does not, I don't think that it's improper for him to be able to talk about what the intentions of the group that he is acting as a part of were, as shown by their actions and their words throughout the course of the conspiracy itself.
But if his statement is just based on assumptions he's making through the actions of others, then the jurors are in a similar place as Mr. Zachary to make that, to draw that conclusion.
But Mr.
So
Zachary,
I don't understand why Mr. Zachary, his conclusion about what my client's intent was would be particularly helpful or relevant to anything unless my client articulated it to him. And from my understanding of what Mr. Zachary's saying is he gets a call from his girlfriend Summer. Mr. Garlington and Mr. Sledge leave the club. Mr. Zachary doesn't know, according to his story, he doesn't know how Mr. Stillwell gets in the car because he wasn't at the club. And then they pick up Zachary last. And Zachary does not describe any conversation in the car on the way to these houses or anything like that. He doesn't give any context about communication. He's just kind of like, I got in the car and this is where we went.
so Judge, this is also the third interview that Mr. Zachary gave. He gave one earlier in 2015. This one occurred in 2017. So there are statements about this same incident in the 2015 interview as well. So we haven't gone through that one, but I could cross-reference that as well and provide those cross-references to the court. But the reality is that an assertion by a co-conspirator, if everyone is acting towards the same goal and people are getting shot up, houses are getting shot up, and
With assault rifles that are in the car.
right.
Yeah, I'm gonna overrule that.
She got to get it together, man. She all over the place.
28, line 17.
The
No.
font is a little small. I'm just.
God.
Sorry, I need the court's glasses. I'm just
28, line 1 through 3.
And with this one, Your Honor, I'm not trying to mislead anyone. If one of my colleagues tells me I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. My recollection, there has been no testimony about someone being shot in these houses.
Okay.
If I'm wrong about that, feel free to correct.
She don't got her glasses on. She can't see.
So this one, we have given the list of 30 witnesses, and one of the first witnesses after Mr. Zachary is the young lady who lives at this house and her sister getting shot at. So there hasn't been.
Did somebody get shot at this house?
Yes.
And that evidence will come in through this other, what's the name of that witness?
Miss Bell and her sister Cecilia.
So they're coming to testify?
I see them on the witness list.
You don't see them?
I do. I see Denise Bell. I don't know what the other person's name is. So you intend to call somebody who says somebody at this house got shot. Okay, so then that is all right.
They gonna recuse her ass next, man. She all over the fucking
All right,
place.
number 6. And I guess, let's make this 3-page, proffer of proposed edits a record of, part of an exhibit to today's proceedings. So in the event of an eventual review, whomever is reviewing it will know what we're talking about when we
Okay.
say on to number 6.
Can we make, you don't want us to use the one we're writing on, you want to make
Yeah,
it,
I mean, just a
easier.
clean copy.
Okay.
Yeah, I know we're all writing on ours right now. So yeah, just a clean copy, and it can be,
We can do that.
I don't care who makes it an exhibit.
Okay.
It's basically just for purposes of the record. I can make it a court's exhibit to today, court's exhibit 1. I'll print out a clean copy right now. All right.
So the next one is page 29, line 10 through 29, line 11. So going back, Your Honor, you can see from page 28, line you can go back up as far as line 7, but you'll see that there's context. You want to pause?
No.
Okay, you can see that there's context. Mr. Zachary is talking about where they went, what they did. And at line 18, he's talking about the house on Oak. And later on, you have Investigator Dennis talking about his familiarity with the house.
Right.
The talking about that he offers a concrete fact, his knowledge about the house, and Mr. Zachary doesn't correct him or doesn't say anything about it. I would argue it just goes to the
correct him
effect.
to that?
I mean, it's not something that by itself is very material. There's just,
Then take
I
it out.
don't,
Strike it. Granted.
Morning, top of the morning.
you're, okay. Out.
All right. I'm just writing August 6, 2024, Courts Exhibit 1, as to this 3-page
Yes, Your Honor.
proposed reductions. Okay.
So the number 7 is page 33, line 1 through 35, line 14. That actually starts back up on page 32, or actually 31, where Mr. Zachary is talking about Trevante. So page 31, line 16, where Dennis says, got it, you were sitting behind Munktunk, Demikian is in the back with you and Shannon is in front, and then and then Mr. Zachary says they were in another car, yeah. And they go on and talk about that. My argument is that the portion that they're asking to keep out
Man, she all over
is
the
all
place, man.
information Dennis is exchanging with Quindaria Zachary about activities that YSL and Rivals are sort of involved in. Mr. Dennis talks about how they thought it was kale, and Mr. Zachary says, no, he corrects him, no, and then Dennis says, well, enlighten me. He's like, no, you go ahead. But Zachary later on line 17 says they tried to say that we did it, acknowledging that there is a we, acknowledging in a way that helps to prove count 1 in our indictment. There is a they who is an opposition group, who tried to say that we did it, we being YSL.
Where is the part where the opposition group is saying they thought we did it? I see the investigator saying we thought y'all did it, but
No, line 17, where he says they
Oh.
tried to say that we did it, on on page 33.
oh, it's back on page 35. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. And so this would be to establish,
The existence of the enterprise, the gang, and the fact that there is an opposition and a they and a we.
all right,
So,
Mr. Sharp?
I mean, that's not factually accurate.
Okay.
Oh my God,
On
man.
this,
She
Throw
has
your mic towards you, if you don't mind.
on this
It
alleged,
moves, so you can just move it up on your desk, maybe, I don't know.
with
I
this-
know, they're all annoying, they get in the way.
with this alleged incident, the shooting up the houses, Mr. Zachary also puts a gentleman, two gentlemen, a Trevante Turner and a Tay, as being in the caravan with them shooting up these houses. Trevante Turner is sadly deceased. He has never been, I've never heard anyone allege that he was a member of YSL. The paper just reported that he was associated with, I believe it was If Gang.
I'm
but
not sure I'm gonna go on what the paper says.
I understand, but the state has never alleged that. He's not charged in this.
Okay.
This is a gentleman who, you know, has not, there's been no allegations that he's been affiliated with us. I believe that there's a suggestion that he's a friend of Kenneth Copeland's, but that's it. So I don't have, I mean, I don't want it to come in, but I don't have a legal argument at this point against them. Mr. Zachary saying Trevante Turner was part of this mission that he's claiming
Mhm.
existed. But at the times that I highlighted that I have a problem with, it's talking about a wholly unrelated incident where Trevante Turner, who's not one of us, and Shell Kell, who is Kelvin Watts.
So what's she doing? All right, so she's trying to add on people that's not even part of YSL at this point. She just fishing people. So you got to realize when you dealing with a trial this big, though, right? She's going to look for anybody that can find some type of dirt that can incriminate Jeffrey. You see what I'm saying? The people that she's using at this point that she want to bring in as witnesses had nothing to do with YSL as a gang. You see what I'm saying? And she's trying to tie them in by hearsay. That's why I say, man, it's not going to last too long. You know what I'm saying? They about to bring Woody back. Woody go probably have to come back, retestify. This shit is all over the board, man. You could just watch. Look at the statements that she gathered from these witnesses that's not from YSL. It's not even adding up. Let's go.
Were having their own side beef and shooting at each other. And I believe Trevante was shot maybe by Shell Kell. Mr. Watts was maybe shot by Trevante, but it has nothing to do with this indictment. It's not alleged as an overt act, and it has nothing to do with, if I were to, for the purpose of this argument, agree that there's a group called YSL and it's a criminal street
Right.
gang, which
They
obviously
Inglewood
is the issue
family.
here. This incident would have nothing to do with that. And it's just talking about, and they're just really treating it as small talk. You know, that he's telling a story and then it's a little aside about Trevante, which has nothing to do with this case.
All right, Ms. Lett, what do you have to say about that?
We had served in discovery a PowerPoint that involves, just as it relates to the assertion by Mr. Sharp that Trevante Turner was not associated with YSL.
So why?
And in that
Come
PowerPoint
on,
we
man.
served, we reflect on one of the slides at January 27 of 2015 incident 150262801 on Stanhope Circle. where shots were fired, specifically where Trevante Turner was shot. And it's listed that he is an associate of YSL/30D. Just to
Oh
give you
my
some
God. Get the
the
fuck
assertion
out of here.
that there's never been
God,
any indication
are
about
you kidding
Trevante
me?
Turner being YSL.
Well,
But
an
that's
associate of YSL and a member of YSL
It's
aren't
two
the
separate
same thing.
things. Thank you.
they aren't, but I'm not
Get this
asserting
bitch up out of here.
one way or the other as it relates to.
All right, so you see what I'm saying? That she trying to tie. Look, man, you can a member and an associate. You cannot correlate that together, man. You can't add. Look at her, man. She has nothing. You see what I'm saying? Like she over here fishing. First, you want to put it. Listen, man. If a nigga cool with a gang and you hanging with them dudes, that doesn't mean that you are part of they gang. They ain't mean you a member. Anybody could pull up to a barbecue, hang out with them just because it's a hood there or something. You can't tie somebody in for knowing somebody. That's why I say all the people on her lineup, watch they get knocked down like ducks on a rope. Let's go.
Associate or member with respect to Trevante Turner. What I'm saying is that in saying that they tried to say we did it, Quindarius Zachary, when we charge the gang act, associate or member, it doesn't matter. Associates commit acts with the gang. So it doesn't in any way cut against is my position.
Can you
My
prove that
argument
though?
that in saying they try to say we did it, he's not just talking about a random group of men. He's talking about them as a group that operates as YSL is the argument that I would make.
Well,
Who's the they here?
The
Yo, look at her.
Okay.
so
Oh my God, girl.
All right, let me,
so if gang is the gang that
so
they're
is that the they here? This is the
associates
part of the gang that
yes.
there's the alleged beef back and forth and the
Yes.
series of shooting, the members that are involved in this little, even if it's a side incident, are all that gang?
Yes.
Okay.
well, if that's the money line, they tried to say, like, how's that admissible? They tried to say we did it. I mean, false accusations by an unnamed group about something that the declarant, in this case, Mr. Zachary, is actually saying they were wrong about. How's that admissible to anything? And if that's
Right. See, she trying to move the goalposts at this point, y'all. That's like saying, all right, you got the Harlem Crips, you know what I'm saying? And say for instance, some 6-0s come to the Harlems, right? The Harlems got beef with some Damus on the other side. That's like saying the 6-0s is finna jump in the car with the 30s to go help kill some of the niggas that hit some of the 30s. Most of the times in gangs, bro, nigga, your hood put in their own work. Now, it's different if y'all at a gang party and y'all all got guns and y'all shooting at the niggas that's trying to shoot at y'all. But ain't nobody finna go risk their life for another hood just because y'all cool with them, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, niggas be cool in the streets, but motherfuckers ain't that motherfucking cool where they like, oh, they shot the 30s up. We all finna go down there and help the 30s. It's not like that. It's individuals that are taking it upon themselves to go slide for somebody that's from over there if they got family or relatives. But a whole hood collectively, that's not how the game go, man. She trying to move the goalpost, man, and she cannot prove what she's saying. Everything is alleged at this point, man. Hey, look, man, this shit is. Hey, the case getting weaker and weaker, gang. Let's go.
if that's the key section, that's inadmissible in itself. But I think this whole section is just wholly irrelevant and it confuses the issues.
And if the court goes on further down,
Mm-hmm.
and investigator Dennis elaborates, that basically you all were laying in wait for Kelvin Watts. It says Watch, but it's Watts, Watts, Shell Kel, who also has a gray Charger. Just in the continued conversation with everything he asserts, he is making an affirmation about the existence of the gang itself. Yeah, that's what they say. Is what Quindarius Zachary says. He's not pushing back against the notion that they would be laying in watch for Shell Kell. He's just saying, yeah, that's what they say. There's an acknowledgement still of an opposition and of a group that he belongs to.
All right, so,
He's literally saying, no, that didn't happen. So-
right, but she's not offering it for whether it happened the way they said it happened or not. She's offering it for the concept that Mr. Zachary is saying, yeah, there's this we here that is YSL, and that is certainly relevant to the issues in this case. And if you want some kind, I mean, if it even comes in, because I assume, this is all if he doesn't testify as the state thinks he will, and then they have to impeach him, although, it would be interesting to see how you use this and what you would be using this to impeach for. Because if your purpose with it is to establish there's a we and a they, then he'd have to testify inconsistently to that for you to be able to use this. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay.
And Your Honor,
And if that is what you're able to then use it for, I mean, I'd be happy to limit that this is only for the purpose of that, and it's not for whatever may or may not have happened with regard to some side shooting incident.
And let me just say that in his statements, Mr. Zachary, in his statements, and if he testified, I anticipate, he doesn't deny that there's a group called YSL.
Right.
He doesn't deny any of this. So I don't think that these issues are really.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is this one may be one that never materializes, because I would say this is potentially admissible as impeachment on the issue that you're saying you want it for, not anything as to whatever this actual shooting is. Understand?
yes, and
Okay.
my understanding about the exercise overall is just to identify those portions that just absolutely cannot come in.
Right. So I don't want you up here saying, so, hey, tell me about this time that, you
Right.
and whomever were involved in this shooting with the, whatever it is.
So unless, right, I understand fully. Like,
Then
in
he
other words,
says something
don't try to
different. You're like,
don't try to impeach him just to get in some ancillary, otherwise inadmissible thing.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. All right, moving on.
Number 8 being page 36, lines 1 through 30.
I'm sorry, I haven't read it all, but if it is gang members being happy because Gaither's not working anymore, how's that relevant?
So, Your Honor,
Yes.
I would argue. But I can concede that and say that there's really not, I can let that one go. I
Alrighty.
can stipulate to that.
Okay.
I just like it.
And Your Honor,
And that,
I think I may have made an error on that. 36, 1 to 24 is certainly about that. I'm not certain 37, 8 to 18 is about that same thing.
Okay.
I thought we were just doing the 1 through 24 first.
Yeah, all right. Well, I mean, he's got
Yeah,
it
it's-
all as
it's,
number.
It's
so,
8 o'clock over here.
All right, so agreed that 36, that part is out. So turn into 37, 8 through 18.
So in 37, 8 to 18, as I understand it, they're trying to identify Tay, and they're showing picture of Tay with a car, and they're saying, is that the car? And then Investigator Underwood and Dennis and Zachary are agreeing, no, that's not the car. That's the car that got shot up by another person named Kel. It's just about Tay's other car that was not involved in the April 28th, 2015 shooting up houses being shot up. It's just
Okay.
talk about another car being shot
All
up.
right, is
Has
that
nothing to do-
relevant?
So Judge, in context 37, Mr. Sharp's objection goes all the way into page 38, unless I'm reading it wrong.
No, it's 37, 8 to 18, right?
It's-
Correct.
Okay. For now, Judge, I can stipulate to that. I don't see any reason to keep that part in right now.
All right, so that is also out by agreement.
And Your Honor, should anything, and I don't anticipate it, but should anything come up that causes me to ask the court, hey, there's something I agreed to that I need to get in now because. this
Let's not wait
happened,
till the last minute to do it. Okay.
It would only be it would only be by virtue of something happening on the stand. but-
Okay, I mean, can you imagine a scenario why it suddenly becomes relevant that some other car that,
It's not the car being shot up, it's Mr. Zachary giving the description of the individuals and his knowledge of certain individuals.
Tay?
Mhm. And
Okay,
K-
so
and
that's
boy called
lines
KL.
3 and 4. Is that Tay? Yeah.
And 16, where he's saying, he's talking about the other boy called Kale. Those sort of instances. I don't foresee them being necessary, but I didn't want to not say to the court, hey, this might come up.
Okay, well, so maybe if there's some issue as to who Kel is. Okay.
Man, if y'all pay attention, listen, man, it's irrelevant. What she's stating right now, the witnesses that she's trying to line up is irrelevant at this point. For the life of me, I mean, come on with it, man. You have not showed no substantial evidence to prove. A lot of times with the witnesses and the statements, Thug wasn't even around. You see what I'm saying? Was not even around at this point. See, that's why I say, like, they gonna have to look, since this new judge is here, they got Woody gonna have to come right back to court. He's gonna have to retestify. Now they did give him immunity, so he can use certain things, like certain rights, like plead the fifth if he want to. But I think Woody, they go try to run down on Woody. They go try to see what they could pull out of him. And Woody tired. Woody don't want to come back up to that court. He out here getting money, doing interviews. Hey, matter of fact, though, right? They playing Woody music on the radio station in Atlanta right now, bro. The same nigga who told on Thug, all them niggas who say they love Thug, bro, they're playing Woody's music on the radio. That's why I say, man, this is the snitch era. Off the backboard, a snitch could get praised out here. Everybody dick pulling. Oh man, so what, man? He told, man, but that nigga a funny nigga though, man. Or this nigga cool. Or Woody a real nigga. Or this weak ass shit, man. If y'all pay attention, you could be a snitch in 2024 and don't nobody give a shit. Let's go.
And then I think that the next one on number 8 is all of page 38.
Yeah.
It's 38, line 8 to 39, line 11.
Hold on. 38. Line 8.
Okay.
Through 39, 11.
Really to 39. It's
Through 39, line 1.
the end of 39.
Okay.
Oh,
It's two different incidents. It's a discussion about Tay people saying on the street, again, I'm just trying to clean up this transcript. It's just going to be confusing to people. I don't care if all sorts of bad things come up in against about Tay one way or another.
Right.
But I'm just trying to limit confusion that the
Right.
jurors would have. And they're talking about people on the street saying that Tay shot up Rich Homie Kwan's dad's barber shop. Rich Homie Kwan's
I have no
father
objection
is a
to-
barber and runs a barber shop.
All right, she may
Oh.
not, she may agree.
I have no objection to 8 through with the clarification that he made, because I thought it was the whole page.
Okay.
So I have no objection to 8 through 24
Okay,
of
so,
page 38.
all right.
And then on 39, uh, 30 to 3919, 1 through
39.
19.
39-1.
39, 9 through 19, or
1
just
through
all?
19.
One, okay.
I have no objection to 1 through 13, where he stops at,
Okay, so 13 is the end of the Rich Homie Kwan
right,
barber shop. And then they
yes.
start talking about Tay shot Kel.
And
I don't. Again, I don't represent Tay. Tay's not associated. So, but it's just I just think it would be confusing.
Why is it?
Tay is associated, that's what we were just talking about, Tay being Trevante.
Right, who is dead and not on trial here, right?
That's true, unfortunately.
Okay, so is it relevant?
In it,
I mean, I would assume you want a clean, clear story to the extent you can have one as well. So is this relevant to the story the state is attempting to tell?
yes, it goes over into page 40. There's a video that we're gonna have about with Quindaria Zachary, Antonio Sledge, I think Demekion Garlington, and they're saying they're talking to Shell Kell, who is If Gang, and I think that they have a gun. That's my memory, that they have a long gun, and they're saying we ain't going back and forth, and they're saying disparaging things.
Mm-hmm.
And it's over a girl named Antrevia Smith. And when the court sees Tree in this transcript, they're talking about Antrevia.
Okay.
So to the extent that we're talking about one associate or member of YSL, Trevante, and we're going on into the fact that Antonio Sledge and Shell Kell were seeing Antrevia. We're getting into information that we've noticed the defense that we're gonna introduce anyway. So I don't know why this would not.
I don't know or understand the nexus between Mr. Sledge threatening Kel on social media over a common girlfriend and Tay shooting Kel. I mean, I'm not talking bad about the guy. I think there was probably a lot of people that had problems with Mr. Kelvin Watts, and
We'll take it out.
Tay shooting.
All right, I'll take it out.
We'll take out. So it's gonna be 15 through 21.
All right, so we already agreed to 39, 1 through 13. So I think this would start at 14. 39, 14 through what?
14 through 21.
I have 4215. It bleeds into number 9. I think that's why I was unclear. I made it its own separate one, this issue.
Wait, what now?
To number 9 on my list is the continued discussion about the beef between Kel and Trevante, they start out with Trevante shooting Kel, and then they talk about how Kel allegedly shot up Trevia's house. Again, something that I don't believe that the police believe is true. That was Mr. Zachary
We don't.
saying his understanding was that Kel shot up his girlfriend Trevia's house.
All right. Hang on. Ms.
So-
Liv.
In as much as Mr. Sharp said that the police don't rather believe that Mr. Zachary's line about Kelvin Watts shooting up Entrevia's house, that part is correct because Entrevia Smith relayed to police when she gave them that video that Kelvin Watts was in the house with her. So in as much as Quindarius Zachary is attempting to push responsibility from what we believe is one member of his group to a member of the opposition group, I would think that would be relevant. It wouldn't be the first thing that I would ask him. It's something that I don't think is inadmissible, but it's also something that at this time, we're going to talk to him. We've noticed the defense about our intent to talk about when Entrevia Smith's house got shot up. It's just not every line of this portion that Mr. Sharp has labeled number 9. We may not get into every single line there, but the topic itself is what we did notice them that we're going to introduce evidence of.
If they bring up shooting of Trevia's house, that's one thing, and that's, it may or may not be relevant. But my issue, and I don't agree with the state's characterization about Mr. Zachary lying about it. What we're dealing with here is not Mr. Zachary lying. Mr. Zachary wasn't at Trevia Smith's house. Mr. Zachary was not shooting at Trevia Smith's house or being shot at Miss Smith's house, Trevia Smith's house. Mr. Zachary is passing on rumors that he's heard through the grapevine about who did what, and the police are saying, well, we don't believe that's accurate because we believe that Shelkel was in the house. So how could he shoot up the house? So it's whether it's a relevant topic or not, it's all based on hearsay that Mr. Zachary has no firsthand knowledge of.
Excuse, Judge, I just point the court's attention to the first line of page 41. And I'd also point out that Mr. Zachary was in that video that Entrevia gave over to the police after her house got shot up. He was in the video along with Antonio Sledge.
Irrelevant.
They were threatening.
Irrelevant.
guys.
All right. Let me ask you this. Could you
Irrelevant, man. Oh my
closer
God.
look at the rest of 39 through 42 and maybe sort out what part of that you think, if he doesn't testify as you think he will, you would use to impeach him on a relevant?
Listen, this is everything she stated at this point is irrelevant. None of this correlates to Thug at this point. Thug have to be exhausted at this point. The nigga basically coming to court over hearsay. Everything that listen, they need to recuse her, man. This trial is 100. This is day 106, man. At this point, everybody should be fucking drained. Look at the judge. Her hair ain't even done. You know what I'm saying? She didn't even brush her hair this morning, nigga. Clearly, she's tired. Look at her eyes. Don't nobody want to keep coming to court. Now, tomorrow they're gonna bring in Woody. They're gonna try to get Woody to come back in and retestify. He has immunity. So with Woody having immunity, he doesn't have to say anything. He has constitutional rights. He can plead the fifth if he wants to. It's just a waste of time, man. You know how much taxpayer money being spent on this trial? Y'all know how much it costs to try a trial like this? Day 106? Come on, man. Look, Thug is in court, should be asleep. None of this correlates to Thug at this point. Let's go.
Issue, and then maybe get back to us on this one.
Yes.
Okay. Because I mean, I kind of hear you saying, even you think not all of it is anything you would want or need. Okay.
And that's all the way through 42.
All right. So.
So the next one is number 10 is 42. Line 17 through 44, line 6. What is it? So when the objection is lack of personal knowledge, I am laboring under the assumption that Mr. Sharp's belief is that Mr. Zachary lacks personal knowledge. I would just ask that the court allow it, because it's all opposition actions towards one another. Shell Kell shot up the gambling house. On McDonald Boulevard, Dennis asks on page 43, line 1, that's when Thug's car got shot, right? I believe, if we haven't already, I believe that we have gotten in, we've touched on that there was a shooting where his car got shot. But it may have been with Kenneth Copeland and some of the stuff that we have to redo.
Right.
But Mr. Zachary is saying, yeah, shot up Thug's car. Thug wasn't studying it. All of that information, maybe not like that, but that information we anticipate bringing out. So to the extent that Mr. Sharp objects and has as his basis lack of personal knowledge, I would just ask that the court find that it's admissible subject to the proper foundation being laid for it.
I'm okay. That seems reasonable if you can lay the foundation.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. After consulting with others, we're going to withdraw our objection.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So I'm take that out.
All right. Number 11.
45.
That should,
15.
number 11 should be 46, line
Okay.
15.
Okay.
46, 15 through 16.
Yes. Well, maybe I'm wrong. I'm wrong. It was supposed to be 45.
Okay.
I'm sorry. They're all talking about an unrelated, they're talking about a girl named Clenethia Rant. And then Mr. Zachary just says she's dead. And then they talk about the circumstances of her
Okay.
murder.
I don't have
All right,
any
that- she
objections to that
agrees.
part coming out.
Okay.
What's her name?
So
That's
that's
45, 15 through 46,
Yeah.
16. I agree. Okay, let me interrupt y'all a minute. I have word that Mr. Copeland is here and available right now, so why don't we pause what we're doing with this and have him in, see if he has an attorney, see if he wants an attorney. We don't yet have anything put together that I'm going to advise him of, but
I'm good with that
we
part.
could get through a little bit more of this, tell him to hold tight take a lunch break where y'all can come up with something. But I could at least find out about the attorney issue right now.
I think that's-
Okay. All right, good morning, Mr. Copeland. I'm Judge Whitaker. I think you've been before me before in unrelated matters. But I'm the judge taking over this case now. So go ahead and have a seat. What I want to ask you right now, I know that you have been given immunity with regard to your testimony. And there had been, at some point, you didn't want to testify. At some point, you did want to testify. The first question I have for you.
I know one to testify.
Okay, the first, well, right, want to is maybe the wrong term, but my question.
Get they
for
ass,
you
Lil
right
Woody.
now is, do you have an attorney at all?
I don't know.
You don't know whether you have an attorney? I would think that would be a no then, if you don't know
I
whether.
said I was talking to Melanie, but
Melnick?
yes,
Okay, didn't he ask to be relieved as your attorney, and did you sign something saying that's okay, you can get out of this?
I don't.
You don't remember? Okay, does anybody know whether that actually occurred?
I don't believe it occurred.
Okay.
I believe that Ms. Bumpus,
I know she was stand-in. and
she was standing and I believe something was said on the record to the effect that Ms. Bumpus was relieved. But
Yeah, I know
don't-
she was,
there was
but,
nothing about Mr. Melnick to my knowledge.
okay, maybe we,
There was, Miss Bumpus actually said yesterday, I believe, during her testimony, that Mr. Melnick had directed her to tell Mr. Copeland that he could either exercise.
So look, real fast. I'm about to restart the live because my internet is buffering right now. So I'm about to restart it. Y'all come right back. All right, let's go. Nobody representing Woody right now. And I'm finna restart it. Y'all pull up right back. His nails finna go down, y'all. Let's go.
his, you know. he
Well,
could do
choose
one
not to
thing,
testify.
Right. Or if he chose to testify, according to Ms. Bumper.
Yeah, I remember she said, there's this paper I'm supposed to get him to sign. I'm trying to figure out whether it got signed.
So I never got Mr. Milner off my case,
Okay, so he's still your attorney then?
I guess.
Okay, all right. Well, then that's the answer we've got for that. All right, so I'm going to try to get a hold of Mr. Melnick and see if he can be here with us this afternoon, because some of what I suspect you recall when you were brought into Judge Glanville's chambers with Ms. Bumpus and a couple of the people from the state. And there was a discussion that Ms. Bumpus and Ms. Hilton and Judge Glanville had with you. You asked some questions. They gave you some information. Some of that information was not actually factually correct. And I want to make sure that you have the opportunity understanding what it is that the immunity order means, understanding what the potential consequences are if you do testify or if you don't. We're basically going to kind of start over and
So if
do
I don't
that over.
testify, so if I don't testify, how long you gonna hold me in jail?
So, I mean, that's still an issue that you can be held in jail through the end of this trial, but I'd rather have Mr. Melnick here to advise you about the potential drawbacks of.
So at this point, listen, they trying to railroad Woody at this point, right? He already testified. Man, look, he was not credible, you know, before with the old judge. So at this point, Woody got popularity now. Woody got a chance to recuse his mistake because technically Young Thug have not been found guilty. So if he rocked this shit out and helped Thug get off the case, you know what I'm saying? Everybody that said he made them statements and snitched, if he recused that shit and fixed that shit, because this shit could be a play at the end of the day, right? But if he fixed this and helped Thug get off, his name would be cleared and he'd be right back at the top. Now he got this fame. He don't want to be known as no snitch. So I do believe Woody would go sit down and do a little bit of time just to come back out and shine. Let's get it.
And benefits of what, if there are any,
This
of any
trial
of
right
your.
To the end of this trial,
Yes,
not the other people.
not as far as I believe, but the state, what, did you want to do some further research on that?
Yes, just to advise the court
Okay.
of.
Okay, so I just wanted to know, first off, do you have an attorney? Because if you do have an attorney, then your attorney may have some information, advice, and research for me about that. So I want to make sure that I tell you the correct thing about that, okay? So we're going to take a lunch break in a little while, and why don't we plan to have you back here on standby at least. I don't know who was in communication, but we need to reach out to Mr. Melnick, see what his availability is. So just be on standby in case I need you here like at 2 or 3 this afternoon.
2 or 3?
Yeah. Because we're about to take a lunch break.
What he got shit to do?
So you're
He got
okay
shit to do, man.
leave for the next couple of hours, but stay where whomever reached out from the state can reach you to let you know whether you need to be back here this afternoon or potentially tomorrow instead. Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Woody about to make it right. Woody about to make it right at this point.
So, I don't know who. Okay. My, litigation manager is going to reach out to Mr. Melnick, see if he can get a hold of, see if she can get a hold of Mr. Melnick and find out what his availability is. And depending upon his availability, we'll just see when it is that we have Mr. Copeland back. Because I want him to have the benefit of counsel. And then I also want y'all over the lunch break to work on whatever you think ought to be the correct advice to him. And if you, the state, believe that it is possible to hold him past the trial for which he is under subpoena, then you show me what authority.
Yes, Your Honor.
lets you believe that. Okay. All right. Yeah.
One thing, I think that the transcript reflects this from June 10th, and as well as Ms. Bumpus's testimony yesterday. She was emphatic that Mr. Melnick said, if you testify, I'm not representing you. So, and with the fact that Mr. Copeland said,
No, what he said was, if you plead the fifth, I'm not representing you. So I don't know, what that means. I'm just going to reach out to Mr. Melnick, and at least Mr. Copeland thinks Mr. Melnick is still representing him. And if Mr. Copeland.
See, that's where it become a problem, right? How dare you try to not represent somebody because he used his Fifth Amendment rights? He could plead the fifth if he wants to. Listen, Woody might have, suffer from depression, schizophrenia, all that type of shit, right? But catch this though. It doesn't take a rocket science to see that this case is finna blow up in front of everybody. They do not have enough substantial evidence. Thug is going to beat this case. How would that look for Woody to do all that snitching and still end up on the wrong side of the coin? He's going to have to retract that. It's too many people involved. At this point, Thug is the neighborhood hero, my nigga. You see what I'm saying? Nothing that they said so far correlates to tying him in to the body. You see what I'm saying? Yes, Woody made statements that could potentially convict Thug. Thug have not been convicted at this point. So if he wants to retract his statements and plead the fifth, he can. If he want to make it right at this point, he has an opportunity to make it right. Now, there is situations where, somebody who get on the stand and snitch, sometimes you got to realize it could be a decoy snitch just to start off the case and then flip it in the end just so Thug can win. So right now we calling him a snitch and we having all these titles behind him, but we don't even know if this was a plan at this point, bro. You see what I'm saying? Thug is still fighting for his life. He have not been convicted. So with that being said, you can't put the jacket completely on him until there's a conviction. You see what I'm saying? So right now, look, I think Woody got too much shine, too much fame going on. Too many people understand that Woody is a real nigga and they're going to hold him accountable by being real, my nigga. So when it comes to the game, you better believe that it's times where, niggas in the streets be like, hey, bro, no, just go up there and say, I did this out of heat of passion, or say I did this, bro. So, this, that, and the third, so it could come back. And, yeah, he made the wrong call. But I do believe Woody could fix this, man. Woody could fix this. And that's why I say, where's Woody? Because watch when he come back. Let's go.
Never signed whatever that was relieving him. I don't know exactly what their arrangement is, but let's find out from Mr. Melnick.
yes, Your Honor.
All right. Okay, so let's get a few more minutes in of this before we break, because it's not even noon yet, and we were making some progress, which is good. All right, so we were on number 12.
Number 12 being page 47, lines, if I'm reading correctly, line 14 through page 50, line 8.
Yes.
Okay. So, Your Honor, the objection to this portion of it, just to give you a little bit of background. So, this fight happened around January the 6th, and it did begin with Mr. Copeland, according to the reports from our investigators, but it involved more than one member of YSL, more than one alleged member of YSL. Mr. Bloody J, who is a member of If Gang, was on the other side of the fight from YSL, and other people who are in the courtroom now participated in that with them. So Mr. Zachary's rendition of what happened,
Mhm.
that we would argue it's Mr. Zachary's knowledge of his knowledge of and participation in this gang is what allows him to be able to tell this to Detective Dennis. Mr. Shart's assertion, it does not appear that he was there, I don't think is a ground to exclude it, assuming that the court is satisfied with the foundation that the state lays for Mr. Zachary's
Being
ability
a
to-
co-conspirator.
Yes, we would argue that it's admissible. It's
So do you know whether he was there or not?
So
She don't know. She don't know.
So let me ask Mr. Shart, is the basis for you saying you don't think he was there that no on line 23 when is that the basis of it?
What page, line 23?
47, line 23? Because I don't think that no is actually an answer
Oh,
to.
no,
Okay.
it's not based on that.
Okay.
I
You have no
actually
reason
do
to
not
believe.
know.
Okay,
I actually do not know
Okay.
he was there, and I haven't heard anyone talk about him being there.
okay. Do we
And
know whether
and
he
this
was
is-
there?
page 48, line 5. Start at line.
Oh, so we went back there. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
if he was in fact there, then.
And
I
then
withdraw.
somewhere else, he says, would he, okay, all right, well then you'll withdraw that objection?
If he was there, then yes.
Okay. So that number 12 is withdrawn. All right, number 13.
My understanding is this is page 54, line 18, through page 55, line 11.
Yeah, let's take that up first.
So the state has no objection to page 54, lines 18 through 22, where investigator Dennis says, who they say killed him, meaning Donovan Thomas. Zachary repeats the question. Ultimately, Zachary says, shoot, they say Woody and them, I don't know for a fact. So I would agree and argue that you don't know.
Okay,
So it's
He's
not,
telling them,
okay. So 54, line 18 through 22, you concede should be redacted.
so, and let me also give further clarification. Mr. Zachary, later, he tells earlier in 2015, he relays to law enforcement about statements made to him by 2 people in the courtroom now. And 2 people admitting having killed Donovan Thomas.
Okay,
This statement right here is after 2 years later. So, when he says, they say Woody and them, I don't know for a fact.
mm-hmm.
If somebody argued that that's an inconsistent statement that should come in, I'm not objecting to it coming out because what I feel is a lie is irrelevant, but I'm not objecting to it coming out.
Okay,
so, Your Honor, we got a lot of moving parts here. Because eventually, I agree with Ms. Love. Eventually, in this statement, Mr. Zachary claims that Mr. Kendrick told him that they killed Nutt and Mr. Stillwell told him that they killed Mr. Thomas.
okay.
So I anticipate, because, I was doing this for Mr. Stillwell, but I anticipate other other counsel in this courtroom arguing that are affected by this, arguing that this is spilling the beans and it's not a statement by a co-conspirator and therefore not admissible? Oh, okay.
I think,
Okay. So, right. Okay.
okay.
So, if I guess I'll rewind. I will say that if there is testimony, either through direct testimony or cross-examine or impeachment,
Mhm.
that my client said something to Mr. Zachary, or that Mr. Kendrick said something to Mr. Zachary, then I would want to get that in.
18 through 22.
Right, because it would be inconsistent with the claims he says later on. You know, here he's saying, well, they're saying Woody and other people,
All right,
but
I
then
don't know.
later on he says, my client directly said this.
All right,
So if that comes in, I'd want to use that for impeachment.
I'd have to know who the they is here. Right, before that could be, if the they is Mr. Kendrick or Mr. Stillwell, yes. But if the they is some random amorphous gossip rag,
Well,
no.
it would be relevant because if he's telling the truth, okay, assuming he's telling the truth.
Oh, I see
He
who you,
is
I see what
holding-
you mean.
yeah.
If he's already said, or he will later say.
He's going to say that well, he already said in a different statement, and later in this statement, he's going to say that my client told him
Okay,
at night. And if he's holding that information, then him answering, they saying Woody and them, I don't know.
all right, I still need to find out who the they is then, because the question posed by the investigator is who they say killed him,
I think
right?
ask
So,
who the streets are saying.
okay, well then, for Mr. Zachary to say, here's what the street is saying, is not inconsistent with, but I actually know because the perpetrator told me it's the perpetrator. So that would not be this 18 through 22 would not be inconsistent to a statement by Zachary that Mr. Kendrick and or Mr. Stillwell told me personally that they're the ones that did it. You see what I mean?
I see what you mean. I would argue that that would be the time a reasonable person would say, who they say did it. Well, if my client had said he did it, say, well, I don't even need to tell you who they
All
said.
right, well, I would reject that argument. So that's out. All right, so next. Is what, 20, page 54, line 23 through 5511, is that all going to be the same
That is all.
chunk of whatever? Okay.
So we're starting at page 57, line 22.
No, 54. Because all we dealt with was 54, 18 through 22. It goes all the way through 55, 11. So, okay, you was with them at the condo afterwards. I was there. I mean, that,
All of that, we would object to it being redacted out. All of this is Mr. Copeland talking about.
okay, so, all right. The,
Not Mr. Copeland, Mr. Zachary, my apologies. So I don't know how.
okay, so now I'm seeing Mr. Shard as I read on further. He's going back to the, well, that's what they say. I don't know for a fact.
Right.
I see what you, no, I mean, I hadn't read that part before. Who did they say? God, I don't even know if we're talking about the street here, because you was with them at the condo afterwards. I was there, but shoot. That what they say? I don't know for a fact.
Right.
I'm saying, who did they say killed him? he may at this point mean, who did they, the people you are at the condo with, say? So can anybody actually point me to who the they is? If I flip back far enough?
In this particular interview, no, not as it relates to.
Oh, good
this
Lord.
statement right here. Because it's one of those.
It's all over the place.
No, it's, as it relates to the way that Dennis is talking to Zachary,
Yeah.
he means it just like if I were to just pop up and say, who did they say did it? There's no they identified.
Is there a video of this?
Yeah.
All right, I may need to watch the video of this part because maybe the inflection will let me know whether he means, let me watch the video on this. Can y'all send me that and then give me a timestamp for this part? Let me revisit that whole thing, including the 18 through 22 part.
If you send, I don't know if you have the times marked, but if you send the video that shows Mr. Zachary's face kind of zoomed in, I think it's an MP4 video. I think it's right around 27 minutes, 30 seconds.
27 minutes, 30 seconds.
I
Okay.
believe so.
Thank you.
Per my notes.
Okay, thanks.
Are we gonna move, to the next one or just?
Yeah, no, I'll take a look at that offline unless y'all got it queued up right now. I'll take a look at that offline if y'all will send me that video. So yeah, let's, if 5722 through 23 is a separate kind of issue, we can move on to that one. All right,
I have 3 digits. I know it's meant to be a typo. Probably, is it just 5722 to 5723? Because it has 223.
I think so. Your objection, Mr. Shart, here is 57 lines 22 and 23.
I'm going to withdraw that.
Okay. So that one is not objected to. All right. Moving on to number 14, which is page 60, line 19 through 61, line 20.
So, Your Honor, this is.
I'm going to withdraw that one as well.
All right. Okay, then our next item is on page 65, lines 8 through 20.
We're on number 15.
Yes.
It's, and my objection to this is just incorrect rendition of the law, explaining, Investigator Dennis is explaining to Quindarius Zachary why he's guilty by association.
Yeah, yeah, and I suspect he was not offering that as here's what the law is. He was offering that as here's what we law enforcement consider you to be, but I can understand that. You wanna agree to that, Ms. Love?
Judge, is the court will give my counsel is sitting here whispering in my ear. Oh, give me 1 second.
to get there and consider it? Yes, I will give you a second to do that.
I'm hearing you.
We'll see. Give you about 10 more seconds to make your decision, then I'm just gonna make my ruling.
I don't object to 65-8 through 65-20 coming out.
All right. So that is out by agreement.
And Your Honor,
Yes.
yeah, I don't have any objection. All of number 15 and number 16 starts at 66. Line 12 through 66, line 18 is what I'm saying. Your Honor, this is one of the acts that's listed as an overt act in this indictment. As I'm reading it, page 66, line 12 starts out talking about the gun that Mr. Zachary got caught with on May the 7th. And then Investigator Dennis goes on to say, the assault rifle you're in the video with, and he's saying what it came back to. And then you have Mr. Zachary saying that's Moon's gun. But he is acknowledging that he and Mr. Sledge, who the state alleges, Mr. Sledge already pled, but Mr. Zachary is indeed YSL. So they're swapping guns. We would just argue that this is evidence of count 1 and the gang count in this case.
That's not my issue.
Count 1.
Okay, so do you have an issue with lines 8, lines, where is it? 12 through 18?
I do have an issue with 12 to 18. I don't have an issue with him saying that he gave the gun to Moontook or that's Moontook's gun. That's fine. What I have an issue with is saying with Investigator Dennis, saying that the ballistics from that gun matched the May 7th shooting of Lucci's Bennett's
Okay.
mom's house. And there's a couple reasons. A, it's not been put in evidence
Okay,
yet.
well, hang on. Maybe we can address your objection and still have in the portion that Ms. Love wants it
Okay.
for
So it's
by
really 16
redacting a smaller part of it.
I should have said 16 to 17, if I was
Okay.
to be more precise.
Okay, so any issue with just with redacting out 16 and 17, Investigator Dennis's statement about it having come back to that?
Not for the purposes of Quindarius Act. No objection at all.
Okay. So. So that's 66, 17 through 18. Out by agreement. Okay, and next we move to 68, 24, and 25.
It's,
I was.
Yeah.
Was the court asking?
I don't, Mr. Sharp, did that have some issue?
Right, 60, they're going back to Lucci Mom's house, and then they're saying the gun you got caught with has something on it until you didn't know until you went to court yesterday. So I think that should come out, 6819.
Okay, so that's, then maybe we just aren't lined up with
Yeah.
line numbers.
Yeah, that's my.
So 6819 through 21, right?
I would say,
25,
because then they go to Lucci Mom again.
well, 24 maybe?
Right, okay,
Okay, like, right?
yes.
So 19 through 24, out.
And then,
All right, hang on, let's make sure that we've got agreement on that.
So when 19 through 24, so that's page 60.
It's page 68, lines 19 through 24. Do you agree? It's basically the same issue.
The issue that I have here is that I would object to that because Mr. Zachary admits that it has shootings on it. You know, it's one of the guns used in one of the shootings. So even though, as it relates to the previous portion that I agreed to, and arguably even with the previous portion, the effect on Mr. Zachary, him not denying that or him not expressing surprise, but instead saying, oh, that's no Jules gun. In this particular case, when Dennis says what he says, Mr. Zachary doesn't say, what? Oh my gosh, no. Instead, he says it has shootings on it. Yeah, it has some shootings on it.
he says that because they told him in court the day before. He didn't know.
But Judge, Mr. Sharp can't be the witness in this particular instance.
I'm going by what the transcript says.
I'm saying though that he can't speak to why Mr. Zachary said, yeah, it has some shootings on it.
I'm gonna exclude that. I mean, honestly, it looks to me like he's saying, yeah, I mean, now that I know, I'm not surprised, but I mean, if that's what you wanted in for, make that argument, but I didn't hear that argument, so that would be lines. So you're saying, hang on, Mr. Sharp, on 68, where are you proposing that reduction start?
19 to 24.
19 to 24, okay. I am gonna exclude that. All right, now moving to 69, lines 2 through 6.
And it's starting on January 26th, halfway through too.
Okay.
Through 5 really.
Was that page 69, line 2?
Yes.
Yeah, lines 2 through 6, starting with on January 26th. I mean, they're basically again saying, hey, you had this gun at some point and we know that it was involved in this shooting. We'd like to know who gave you the gun. And they don't have an issue with, we'd like to know who gave you the gun. Just we found out later this came back to the shooting.
That's fine.
Okay, so that is 2 through 6, starting on January 26th, are out by agreement. Okay. And then 17 we already did, so the next one is actually 18, page 69, line 25 through 7213. And
Okay, so Judge,
mhm,
when Detective Dennis asks who shot up Lucci's mama's house on page 69 at line 25,
mhm,
and Mr. Zachary gives them an answer.
mhm.
I would argue that all of this is information that I should be able to ask him about. And if he doesn't, if he testifies inconsistently, he should be able to come in.
And
I'm not looking at his reason for asking me to come out, so I will.
yeah, what's your,
There's no indication,
how he knows?
to the extent that my client was there, as he claims, there's no indication that he was there. And there's no indication of what his source of knowledge is. I think he's just passing along rumors. And so if he says, I was there when Lucci's mom's house was shot up and it was Shannon Stillwell that did it, then I don't really have a leg to stand on. But I don't believe he's going to say that. And he needs firsthand knowledge or another exception or another hearsay exception. And I don't see it in the state just kind of saying, oh, well, he knows, so therefore it's admissible. There's just so much rumor and back and forth in this case. And I think that the investigators, I'm not trying to criticize them, but they're just trying to like gather information, not in preparation of trying the case, but just trying to get like some broad generalized what the word on the street is.
So, Your Honor, as with any evidence or testimony that we elicit or tender, we have to establish a foundation before it's admitted. So we would not be seeking, and this we don't believe is just rank hearsay. So we just have a good position, and we ask that the court just allows the opportunity to lay the foundation and present it.
All right, and I assume that your foundation is going to be co-conspirator exception, that they all know this because they're in the gang and they communicate and they need to be able to know that argument. I mean, I would think so. And frankly, even on 73, when they asked about what about Thug's stepdad's house, he actually says, I don't know for sure who did that one. So, I mean, he's clearly, if he doesn't know, he's like, beats me on that one.
Well, I think, I don't speak for Mr. Zachary, but I could see a world where he's a layman. And so he's saying, well, I haven't heard, I don't know for sure means I haven't heard anyone, no one's told me about that. And I don't think the co-conspirator, and I'm not saying that Your Honor said this, but I don't believe that the co-conspirator exception is satisfied by just saying, oh, well, it was a bunch of co-conspirators talking. I think that they need to establish who said what to whom and where in the circumstances of that statement, so we can see if it falls under 801 D2E. And
Yeah.
so that's, I'm in the blind right now as far as how the state plans to get into that. But what I don't want to happen is the state, when Mr. Zachary's on the stand, to try to bring up, well, who do you know who shot Lucci's mother's house? And he says, I don't know, I wasn't there. And then they say, well, didn't you tell the investigators that Woody and Shannon and Pokey did it? And it's like, it was just based on nothing, but it's already out there now.
And Judge, that would be a leap. That would be to say who did it and then didn't you tell them. I would at the very least establish a basis for his knowledge, either from things that he has said previously or from things that he says on the stand. So it wouldn't be as if it would be some kind of backdoor way to get in somebody's name that, you know, is sitting here in the courtroom. It would be the proper pulling out of evidence of the witness on the stand. It would be establishing a foundation for his knowledge.
Okay, but we're assuming if this comes in, that it's coming in because it's coming in as an inconsistent statement, you're impeaching him, right? I mean, obviously, if he gets up and you asked him about it and he testifies to all of it on the stand, then there still might be a foundational objection, but then we deal with that then. But if you're getting it in because you're having to impeach him, that's what we're trying to decide now. And so I don't want to wait and have the jury there and make the jury go away while we figure out the basis of his knowledge. You know?
Yes.
So I don't know if we'll swing back around to that one. Okay. Let's see. I mean, and frankly, it's probably going to be the same. You're going to need the same information for a foundation, regardless of its as to his testimony on the stand or as to this, you know. But yeah, it kind of let us know what that's going to be, so that I can make a determination of whether it comes in, you know, potentially. Well, that was 18. You agree about 19, so we're moving to 20. And y'all just let me know when lunch gets here and we'll break. Oh, it is here? Okay, we're gonna break then. All right. Great. So it's 12:15 right now. So far, Ms. Rosser has not been able to reach Mr. Melnick. So, you know, it's probably more likely that it'll be tomorrow than today. So why don't we, I don't know, maybe I'll know more after lunch, but let's break until 1:30. Is that enough time, deputies, for getting everybody fed? Okay. See y'all back at 1:30.
Yeah, man, this case, man, it's all finna boil down to what Woody's finna retestify about. Shout out to everybody that's in the comments, man. I see y'all over there, right? But so now they need Woody to get a lawyer. Woody clearly cannot comprehend, you know, certain questions when it's involving this case, because Woody got that point blank attitude. You know what I'm saying? If he don't know what that means, he's going to ask you what that means. He's going to ask you to elaborate. He don't understand. Now, Woody, due to them having a new judge, Woody might have a chance. I mean, in the streets, you can't make it right? But there are some cases where, you know, a nigga be like, nah, just tell him we was there. But, you know, some niggas might want a nigga tell a nigga something so he can plead heat of passion because they already got him at the crime scene. They got his footprints, and he might need the nigga to tell him that they was there. It's no getting out the situation. But, you know, at this point, you know, what are you told, bro? It don't matter how you cut it. You told, nigga. We know you told. But now, if Woody could seal the deal to help Thug win this case, you know what I'm saying? The streets is different, man. You know, in California, nigga, we not going for that. I don't care, nigga, what part of California you in. Nigga, we not touching that. Nigga, straight up. Nigga, if you took the stand, you told, you fold, nigga, you out of there. But now let's talk about the South. You see what I'm saying? The South, shit, nigga, them niggas been singing like Jodeci, and no disrespect for all the gangsters, all the real niggas across the board. But in the South, it's a little bit different. A nigga could tell, and niggas accept that shit. They accept that shit like it's cool. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he ain't tell on me. That nigga got a bag. Shawty got that bag over there. Shawty over there. Yeah, Shawty got them bitches over there. And the nigga got 4-5 pounds and shit. Shit, nigga, I'm trying to live that Kanye, that good life. And the nigga will still hang with that. Like I said, the other day they showed they was playing Woody's song on the radio. A nigga had it. He was live streaming that shit. Like, how they playing Woody on the radio, right? It was on one of their late night live streams or some shit like that, right? But you know, think about it, nigga. Woody getting played on the motherfucking radio out there. and Thug is one of the niggas who put a lot of niggas on, man. You see what I'm saying? And this is bullshit. Today, everything that the prosecutor said did not correlate to have any relevancy with Thug, though, right? So that's why I'm saying that nigga is in court, nigga. He should be asleep. Just a waste of time. This day 106, Georgia versus Jeffrey Williams, my nigga. And where's Woody? Woody returning back to that stand. He's gonna have to retestify. And I honestly think Woody's gonna try to make this shit right. Now he do have a right to plead the fifth. He do have it. That's the Fifth Amendment. He has constitutional rights like everybody else. Now, will he exercise those rights? We do not know at this point. But that's why I say being a gang banger, being a gang member, homie, you should know your constitutional rights. You know how many niggas out here gang banging have no idea about the crime, the time, or nothing that has to do with what they doing in the streets. A nigga be like, nigga, I'm gonna just get out there and just be reckless. I feel like, nigga, when you be in a street, nigga, you should educate yourself, nigga. That make you a deadly motherfucker. You see what I'm saying? Just imagine, nigga, you out here in the streets and all hundreds and hundreds of gang members out here is not even taking the time to know their constitutional rights. You know what I'm saying? Not even knowing, nigga, the Constitution could roll in your favor if you took the time to understand. You see what I'm saying? A lot of these niggas out here, nigga, I don't know what that mean. All that shit, but nigga be out here trying to give public advice and opinionated and shit. And half these niggas out here, nigga, can't even motherfucking read. You see what I'm saying? But nigga, oh, that nigga a real nigga over there. Yeah, that nigga over there getting that money on. Yeah, Shotty over there, nigga, Shotty, you know what I'm talking about? All that shit. Shit, I a little boy. All that little ass shit, nigga. And nigga go to court and be dumb as a motherfucker. You know, motherfucking man. It is time for niggas to understand that knowledge is power. I don't care how you cut it, nigga. You gotta see life for what it is. We're not living in the 1990s no more, nigga. It's no way in hell a motherfucker could be out here gang banging and don't know his constitutional rights. Nigga, if you driving in a car and police pull you over without probable cause, you do not have to give them your driver's license. You can roll up your window and put it towards the window and have him flash the light and he take it from there. The moment that and think about it, if you're driving in your car, bro, and they want to give you a ticket, you do not have to sign that ticket. You see what I'm saying? Loans, you do not have to sign it. You can take the ticket all day long. You don't sign the ticket. If you get a traffic ticket, that is your ass. You understand? They're pulling out another bond under your social security number. Niggas do not even know their rights, bro. You see what I'm saying? That's why I say, nigga, the most dangerous motherfucker is the person who will pick up a book and understand knowledge. I'm so different nowadays, nigga. Hey, listen, I will lose an argument with somebody on purpose, just so I don't have to fuck with your ass no more. Hey, listen to me. I will lose an argument with you just to fall out with you. All right, cool, nigga. That's all I needed right there, just to fall out with you, nigga. I'm not playing no games with no suckers no more, nigga, because I know more than the average motherfucking Joe out here. Some of these niggas just be talking just to make themselves sound good. And nigga, I'm losing arguments with niggas on purpose, bro. I'm cutting niggas off every day. If you're a real nigga like me, start losing arguments, because it's not worth you lifting your motherfucking blood pressure up and shit, nigga. You nigga go home and shit. You over here yelling, nigga. You over here tongue wrestling with another motherfucker, and then you get home, your blood pressure high and shit. Nigga getting too fucking old to be up here lip wrestling with another motherfucker and shit, talking about all that other shit. Nigga, half the niggas that I get into it with, I be like, nigga, spell that shit. And a nigga could not motherfucking spell. You see what I'm saying? Them days is over with. Nigga talking all that shit. Nigga be talking about, yeah, nigga, he about to testify. Spell that shit. Spell testify, nigga. Spell it. Oh, see, here you got that bullshit, Nina. You can't even spell testify. That is fucking embarrassing, but you using words that you can't even properly could pronounce out in this motherfucker. You see what I'm saying? We not doing this shit no more. And at the end of the day, a lot of y'all talk about Woody a real nigga. Listen, Woody a killer though. So what? So we gonna overlook the fact that he told? If y'all go look at his interrogation statements, well, he was in there socking his fucking head like a fucking psychopath. Yeah, because his brain, the capacity of understanding information, my nigga, it wasn't registering. You see what I'm saying? And Woody, hey, listen, man, Woody, I don't care if a nigga shot 1,000 people. Nigga, like, don't play with me. I ain't bothering nobody. Nigga, nobody care about none of that shit. If Woody was from California, a nigga will definitely test Woody chin. Nigga don't care that you a shooter, nigga. It's shooters everywhere. It takes nothing to pull a trigger. You see what I'm saying? And everybody praised Woody because he convinced y'all because of his ADD, schizophrenia, little Down syndrome, like whatever it is, he convinced y'all that he's just a crazy psychopath. And if you seen that nigga on 20 versus Woody and shit, that nigga he like, you know what we doing today? I don't know what we doing today. Nigga, he paid you to come do a 20 versus some, man, it was just crazy, man. I think we're glorifying stupidity at this point. Without a doubt, we're glorifying the real nigga that took the time to learn how to read, write, man, and be smart and shit. Like, you gotta understand, man, when we look at power and all that shit, niggas underestimated Ghost. Ghost was a nigga that had knowledge. He was powerful because he had knowledge. You see what I'm saying? He was powerful because he knew more than the average gangster that was all around the board. You see what I'm saying? And when you got that, when you accumulate that type of knowledge and information, it's nothing to let a nigga win. Sometimes, bro, you don't have to stand up to everybody verbally. You see what I'm saying? All the nigga got to do, nigga, is, okay, cool. Once you learn what operation a nigga on, you can't argue with a fool because he's going to lower you down to his level and beat you with experience. How dare you, nigga, pretend and force your information on somebody who do not want to receive it? That's why I tell you, a lot of y'all right now going through shit in life, and you be like, man, that motherfucker acting weird. Nah, that motherfucker ain't acting weird. That motherfucker just never fuck with you like that. Stop thinking motherfuckers fuck with you. They're not acting weird. They're showing you who they really are. A motherfucker will literally show you who they really are if you pay attention, man. You see what I'm saying? Stop trusting people. Stop trusting what somebody say and watch what they do. You see what I'm saying? Hey, listen, if you want to survive in the world, I'm going to tell you right now, you have to get on everybody level. Everybody have this persona that they're the realest person. A real person is a chameleon. It knows how to adapt in any environment. You think you being real around fake niggas, around a sucker. You think you can't keep it real with everybody because everybody ain't keeping it real with you. You see what I'm saying? Keeping it real is speaking on how you feel. You see what I'm saying? I'm not finna keep it real with everybody because everybody ain't keeping it real with me. Niggas say some fuck shit around me. Okay, cool, nigga. Oh, really? What? Dang, that's crazy. You did that? Hey, I like to let niggas pop that shit because I get to be quiet. As a content creator, I gotta pop my big one, right? I gotta do my big time, right? But outside of this shit, I don't like to talk, man. I like to just observe. You know what I'm saying? I talk for a living. So when I'm around just in my free time in the free world and shit, man, I nigga be on some. Hey, so what happened? You did that? Man, you a wild nigga, boy. Damn. That's all you got to do. Let these niggas keep singing, man. You see what I'm saying? But, hey, Woody finna come back. And that's why Woody's like, how much time I got to do? Because, yes, look, they're scaring him. But, see, at the end of the day, Woody do not have a paid lawyer. Woody ain't finna put up no money for no lawyer. And at this point, because he has immunity, Woody would not be able to get a public defender. You see what I'm saying? So he's going to have to pull out some type of retainer at this point. You see what I'm saying? And like the judge said, he might not have to do, if this case lasts another fucking year, And that getting nigga enough time to get his ducks in order, man. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, let me see where we at with it. And all right, let's go. One second. All right, so yeah, it looked like it's gonna be a little minute before they come back. So I'm gonna get up out of here, man. I got more content to put out, so y'all stay tuned, man. I'm finna drop some more shit on y'all, man. Hey, y'all get up, man. Get y'all coffee, man. Start y'all day, and don't let nobody steal y'all joy today, man. If somebody can get you out of your motherfucking spirit, that means you lost and good. I'm glad they got your stupid ass up out your motherfucking body, because a lot of time you nigga jump out their body for a fucking dope fiend or a bass head or somebody who can't even spell what the shit they talking about. Hey, y'all stay down, man. I'll see y'all in a minute, gang.